portray what your true motivation was. And I'm just warning, like, I understand that's what your stance is now, you don't want to give us that information. I will try to write this as straight as possible. This happened, this happened, this
all
happened.
All of us, yeah.
All of us, yeah.
I appreciate that.
And with that, with no comment, people are going to read it ambiguous. This guy is a partisan. This guy is secretly working with Giuliani. I just want you
That's
to know.
the point that they care about.
Yes. Exactly.
Giuliani.
Yeah, just so you know that. That's how it's...
And that's fine.
The facts
That's
with
fine.
the ambiguity is going to be perceived that way.
Did you share anything in addition to the hard drives, information from the hard drives with anyone, such as any closed camera, closed circuit video footage to prove that it was Hunter Biden who walked in or anything of that nature?
No, the cameras are only really meant to be a deterrent for theft, and then if something does get accidentally taken, I usually review it within 24 hours to see what happened and then address it as it comes. So the drive that's in there is only like a terabyte, so it only holds like 2 months.
And I just want to expand a little bit more on why we want to know about the Rudy Giuliani connection, because there are questions if this is just completely made up, maybe from hacking from the Russian GRU of Burisma, because that was hacked last year, at the end of last year, around the same time. So if you gave the laptop or hard drive directly to Rudy Giuliani and you say, this is everything on it, I mean, that kind of takes out some of that narrative that these are completely made up emails, and the Joe Biden campaign is saying that the meeting never happened. So therefore, there's going to be questions about the email, if it's true or not.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Do you remember seeing that email on his laptop while you were going?
When I was transferring data, there was a lot of things that I saw on the laptop that were very specific to him and his feelings.
And
which raised concerns, and then that's why I approached the FBI.
Right, and specific to a meeting between Joe Biden and the head of Burisma. Just because, like you said, if you can say that, that would help give some veer the conversation away from this is all fabricated, maybe.
Well, I mean, it's. I wish it was fabricated. I wish he had paid his $85 bill and picked it up, because then this would have happened.
I guess I'm just confused on the timeline. So when you initially looked at this laptop, you had already heard about the allegations of corruption and improper, use of Joe Biden's title. You already were aware of all those allegations when you saw these emails, and that's why it stood out, and that's why you reached out?
Yeah, that's about accurate.
Okay.
Do you think that person, that friend of yours, who linked you with the FBI in any way double-crossed you for shit? No. They worked in good faith in your interest, you think?
Are you still in touch with them?
No comment.
No comment.
Well.
Are they okay?
Yeah, I think they're okay.
Okay.
I haven't talked to anybody today.
Okay. But
No.
recently?
If you're afraid for your safety, why did you open up your store today instead of just keeping the door locked? So you
Because I
wouldn't
made
have...
promises to my customers.
Yeah.
And trust me, I want to get out of here right now.
So do we. But the Rudy Giuliani point, and I'm sorry to just keep harking on this and you, but you've now, since we first walked in at 11 o'clock, you've almost answered all of our questions, which we're very
suck at this,
which we're very grateful for. Besides the Rudy Giuliani point, and Rudy Giuliani is deemed by many people to be a shady character who does not play straight for information, and so we need to know if you reached out to him or if they reached out to you.
No comment.
That will indicate to people that you are working with Rudy Giuliani for this. That is how that will be read.
Right now, I'm probably screwed any which way, so it doesn't really matter. I mean,
The only thing
does matter.
Yeah. The only thing, there's so much misinformation out there, so much bad faith acting. Like and I'm not just saying this. I mean, I want the information, but also like it's always refreshing the few times you get somebody who is actually speaking frankly,
And you've
saying,
been very
I
honest.
did this. You have been honest.
And
Like,
also
I did
this-
this for this reason.
The stakes are incredibly high.
They are.
I mean, this is not just your lives. These are the lives of arguably the whole country and possibly the balance of power in the world. We're talking about the presidency. We're talking about the leader of the free world. We're talking about implications for an election that is 20-something days away. And hedging on this question, it could impact the safety of a lot more people than just the people you care about.
No comment. Because that's not what is important. What's important is that, you guys do this to everyday people all the time?
No, this is a big story.
It's a tough job.
What's the important part?
I don't know if I should talk anymore. I'm worried.
That makes it seem like you're worried about Rudy Giuliani. And that,
No, I'm worried about saying the wrong things and getting in more trouble than I already am. I'm worried about my safety, salvaging what I can out of my business.
Why do you think you're in trouble? Like, what trouble are you in?
There's
I mean,
again, all due
Yeah, have there
respect to
been
your
threats?
profession, there's like 1 million press people have been beating the hell out of me today, and it's like, not
I mean, presumably everybody knew that. You gave this to the FBI. Somehow it got to Rudy.
They told me
Giuliani.
that nothing ever happens to people that don't talk.
Nothing ever happens to people who don't talk.
Who told you that?
The FBI, and that made me scared, because that's not something I would expect law and the highest branch of. I don't think it don't.
I got a quote.
It was more along the lines of, in our experiences when stuff like this happens, nothing ever bad happens to people that keep quiet.
I need
you're
to
now
know-
alleging that there's an FBI cover-up.
That's what you had indicated earlier too.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it, kind of. No comment. It's too late. I mean, it just feels a little odd, don't you think?
I think on that, if that's what you believe, you need to give us more.
That's
you
one
need to
reason
give
why
us
I'm
a
afraid.
name of the FBI agent. You said they came from the Baltimore
Yeah, we
office,
can go
or
ask them.
or the Philadelphia.
We can do this to them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Again, everybody's got a job to do, and I'm not trying to make anybody get in trouble.
So who was it? What was the name of the agent?
Is it on the subpoena?
So I tried to get the subpoena. It's not, the full subpoena is not on the New York Post site.
I don't feel comfortable about doing that, because, I know
I don't know if you guys.
if I don't want to talk to the FBI again, because they're probably not going to be very thrilled to talk to me, and I don't want to be put in that situation.
Why wouldn't you
So-
be thrilled?
If you didn't feel like the FBI was handling it or on top of it, then did you reach out to Giuliani?
No comment. Sorry. Guys are nice people. Sure, I can't get you guys a water.
No, we're good.
How many
Not from
different
Russia.
how many FBI agents have you had contact with, either in person or via email or phone? Is it just those two? You said 2 agents who came here that day, one from Baltimore and one from Wilmington.
Not sure where they were from.
Are you not sure where they were from?
But I know Baltimore branch has a Wilmington office.
And, and you were sure they were FBI, not prosecutors from the district, the U.S.
Pretty sure, because the one, in all the email correspondence is special agent.
Can we see
Do you
that?
have
Special
the
agent.
emails?
Special agent.
I don't know, I'm scared. The FBI you don't want to mess with, because
But you went to the FBI.
I thought I was following the chain of command.
The only way if the FBI is up to any wrongdoing, then you coming clean right now and telling the truth would actually help you.
Great point.
Or make me a target.
I mean, they already know that you are in the news. They already know that you're the name of your shop.
And they don't know what I'm saying, because I'm trying to say no comment. all the
Right, but
time.
if they feel like you've left something out and there's a reason to silence you, potentially if you don't speak on it now, you're at more risk than if it was already out. The public knew your version of the story, and it would look very, very suspect if something happened to you after that.
And very bad for the FBI.
Chance I take, right?
I don't know if people are gonna believe that easily, though. I mean, I know it's scary, but because it just seems like they could just say, no, we didn't find any wrongdoing there that was specific. Because what do you want them to do? Arrest Hunter Biden, or I just don't know what the goal was. What they didn't do right.
And the FBI didn't leak this information. Like, this story is not, the source of the story was not the FBI as far as I know. The source of the story was Giuliani. So,
Yeah.
like, you gave this information to the FBI, presumably, I mean, if we're being gracious to them, they looked at it, they said, there's nothing there. That's it.
Well, if that's the case, then I don't know.
So other than just like a niche, on, a notch on the timeline, why is the FBI even relevant to this? If this was, ultimately sparked this story because of Giuliani, and you giving him that information in September.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I guess, has the FBI contacted you in the last month?
No. The last they
Or since you gave the information to Giuliani, did they contact
there
you?
were the tech support phone calls to get them set up, which then again raised some flags, like why is this?
You said calls. The first time you said it was one call. Now you're
Well,
saying
I
there's
called
multiple calls?
shortly after, and then called the next day. They needed some other advice.
What was the other advice they needed the next day?
What type of cable to buy?
Cable for what?
Powering.
For power?
Yeah.
But they're the FBI. They don't know how to do that.
Scratch my head.
Yeah,
Again,
scratching mine too.
there was that. There's
So since you gave the laptop and the external hard drive to Rudy Giuliani's lawyer, you haven't heard from anybody.
no comment.
I think that's just what the story hinges on. Because people want to know because it questions your integrity and honesty, even though we all think you've been very honest for the past 2 hours or so. If you're not going to answer that question, then they think you are working with Rudy Giuliani to go against Joe Biden because you voted for Donald Trump in 2016.
I'm probably not going to have any integrity by the end of the day anyway. So I'm pretty much at the point where I don't care
I mean, the thing is,
what people think.
If you are a
because
political operative, that's okay.
I'm not a
as long as you
political
understand.
operative.
Okay.
I am just a guy that just had something that I wanted out of this shop. And
Why didn't you throw it away?
because that didn't seem like the right thing to do.
You might have been taken advantage of by a political operative. Does that cross your mind?
Yeah. And that's why I was very careful or tried to be very careful up until the end. But
Did it feel wrong giving some information from someone else's hard drive if they weren't doing, if there was nothing legally wrong, like child pornography was? Does it feel wrong to give that information to somebody else? Have you ever done that before in a case that wasn't child pornography or some other legal situation?
I so want to respond to that, but I don't think I should.
Why didn't you save the security footage?
Because it's just the customer.
Because what?
But it wasn't just, what he brought in, and you saw the data and the contents of it, it triggered you to realize that this was a big deal.
I wasn't triggered until later.
Till past the 2 months mark of the servers?
Yeah, it was middle of the summer.
So
Is
was this-
when I started to get concerned, and because you see stuff in the papers and the news and online, and you're like, I recognize that name. I recognize that name.
And you're like, holy shit, I got this guy's laptop, and you just start scrolling through to see if anything's on there, or?
No comment.
And was that this summer or last summer?
Last summer.
2019.
Are there any other copies?
Not that I know of.
So you only created that one copy of the hard drive?
There was a copy that I created at one point in time as a safety precaution, for fear that if something bad happened to me, then I gave the drive to somebody that would you hopefully leverage it to get me out of whatever trouble or hole I've been placed in.
Is that the same person who you contacted before, who you were saying is a close friend of yours? That's the same person. So that person also has a copy?
Not anymore.
Has any other of the Biden family ever dropped off equipment here?
Not that I know of.
Is there any other equipment that you have that has aroused your suspicion about with regards to this kind of somewhat political aspect?
So you obviously have a favorable opinion of Rudy Giuliani,
Why do you say that?
because a lot of people don't, and if they were accused of working with Rudy Giuliani, they would say, no, I hate that guy.
I don't like hate.
I don't like that guy.
I'm not that
respect him.
type.
He doesn't tell the truth.
I'm not built that way. When you're afraid and you don't know anything about the depth of the waters that you're in, you kind of you want to find a lifeguard. Oh shit.
Who's Rudy Giuliani was your lifeguard?
Oh, man. No comment. No.
I think you just need to confirm to us that you reached out to Brian Costello, or Brian Costello, the lawyer for Rudy Giuliani, reached out to you. It needs to be one or the other.
Does it have to be?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's the truth, and you've been so honest, and I think...
But if I say no comment, it's like...
No.
I'm making...
No, that's an answer.
I mean, you just said you sought out a lifeguard.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I sought out a lifeguard with my friend that knows more about this stuff than I do, and I sought out help from a plethora of people, and you'd be surprised how nobody wants to talk to you.
And so, when you were at the end of the line, you said, "All right, I'm going to talk to Rudy Giuliani's lawyer. I'm going to get it. No one else will help me. I'm going to get them to help me."
No comment.
Well, it sounds like you just said you sought out help from several people, and so there was an intermediary between you, someone, and Rudy Giuliani team.
No comment on that part, but I made... Oh, shit.
I mean, you're exactly right. A lifeguard.
I needed help. I thought the FBI was going to help me, and then I got the overwhelming sense that they weren't going to help me, and I needed to do something else.
Help you to do what?
Keep me safe.
So, after you had given this information to the
Be
FBI...
honest about what they were doing.
You're talking about the Bidens being honest about what
No, the FBI.
So the FBI got this information, presumably didn't do anything with it, or still is conducting an investigation. You still felt unsafe months after that. I don't understand why you felt unsafe.
One of the agents called me up like 3 weeks later, I want to say 3 weeks later, just to see if anybody has come in looking for it yet. Because if they do, give us a call, stall them for a day, and we'll be back in with it.
And did they indicate that that would be the Bidens or the Giuliani?
Biden. Anybody representing Hunter would come looking for it, let us know, and we'll get it back in your hands. Stall them for a day. Don't email us, only text.
But in this, the way that you're thinking about it, you would say you're kind of alleging that the FBI is protecting Biden.
No, I'm not alleging that
Protecting
at all.
Biden, but then you're also saying they're going to try to go after him because you need to stall him. You're like working in cahoots with them.
What? I missed that last part.
You're like working in cahoots with the FBI by saying stall them, answering the phones, things like that.
Well, they're asking me
Mhm.
to, if somebody comes looking for this, that I need to kind of tell them about, it's in our recycling facility, and let me go take a look, and I'll dig it out, and I'll give you a call tomorrow. And then I was instructed to text one of the agents and then say, bring it back.
Text on any sort of messenger in particular?
Just regular text.
Okay.
And so then why did you go, or you, or the intermediary that you have between you and Rudy Giuliani's team, if you're scared for your safety, why would you go to Rudy Giuliani, who's a private citizen? Is it because of his connection to President Trump? Or why was he the beacon of hope for you?
No comment.
You obviously went for some reason. And I don't understand why you can allege wrongdoing of the FBI and not of Rudy Giuliani. You're like really standing by him.
Well, I'm trying to say no comment on board of you. I mean, if that's the narrative that you want to push, that's fine.
Well, what protection can he provide to you?
What?
Rudy Giuliani. What, you were scared, so you go to him, and he protects you how?
Well, I don't think I said that to that extent.
Okay. Well, you're scared somehow.
I've been a little afraid for over a year and a half.
So then
But how does he assuage that fear? How does he protect you? I mean, tell.
I don't feel comfortable about talking about
And so you feel
information.
duped by him because he leaked it to the New York Post.
No, I don't feel anything about that.
You don't have any animus towards Brian Costello, the Rudy Giuliani lawyer who turned on the New York Post to this.
No, I have no opinion on the matter.
Okay.
I mean, I prefer this outcome as opposed to getting shot jogging in the morning, but, you know, it's...
Okay.
So the fear is that if this had not come out, you would be shot to keep it. Somebody in the Biden camp would shoot you so that it would be.
I don't think
it would keep it from coming
they
out.
take matters into their own hands like that.
Okay, but I mean, what I'm saying is, why would it doesn't make sense, I guess is what I'm saying, because it was already in the FBI's hands.
Mhm.
They would have had to have gone after all those FBI agents that knew about it, right? Like if they took you out of the picture, the hard drive is still there. It's going, like, you know, presumably there was a launch of some sort of FBI investigation. How would taking you out of the picture protect the Bidens from this information? That doesn't make sense to me.
What if they perceive me as a threat?
But the FBI had the information, so you can go
Well,
out.
I knew what was on there.
So did they.
And then they probably knew I had a copy because I was pretty vocal about not wanting to get murdered, so I'm going to have a copy.
To the FBI,
you were
you were
vocal?
vocal about that?
I'm pretty sure they figured it out.
How would they have
I don't know.
figured it out?
Because they're the FBI and they're investigators.
But they can't open
Because they
a
can't
computer.
figure out a computer cord?
Yeah.
That raises my concern about, did that computer go to where it was supposed to go?
So what happens, John Paul, when we go to the FBI? We've already gone to the FBI, and they say no comment. But what happens when we go with all these specifics? There's 2 agents from Baltimore or Wilmington, and they say we have no record of that. We will, and then it's FBI versus you.
That's fine.
Okay. And you keep bringing up this killing of Seth Rich, the conspiracy theory. That has been thoroughly debunked.
What theory?
The DNC murder and the jogging in the morning.
I was just giving the example of how, you know,
Well, those things-
Epstein didn't really hang himself. This guy gets shot jogging. You know, that's.
So you think those things are true?
I
You
think
the government kills people
I
secretly?
think that not the government as an entire entity, but I think that there's a history in this country of people with political motives doing horrible things.
And
I
so
don't-
name
I don't
some
wanna-
examples.
I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. I could Google it, I guess, if you like. But
So you have no problem with Joe Biden's elected president?
well, as long as he doesn't have a vendetta.
And you...
I don't care, like this. I don't know. I'm getting exhausted.
Just one more thing. I mean, this story's going to.
Steve Jobs used to say that a lot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I understand. So this story's going to come out eventually. At some point, there's going to be the FBI internal sources. Giuliani's going to. It's going to be clear who gave who what. It's going to be clear that Giuliani came to you, or you came to Giuliani, or the FBI did this or didn't do this. Eventually, I mean, usually with these sorts of things, the facts come out. They take a while. So, I guess this is my pitch to you to speed that process up.
I don't feel comfortable about speeding anything up right now. I just trying to do the right thing that I felt was right. I was honest, and I tried to go the proper channels, and I still think I did the right thing.
I mean, Pete, you wanted this, push back where I'm wrong. You wanted this information out there. You wanted people to know this. So you
I didn't necessarily want
you didn't see
the entire world to know this. I just wanted it out of my store. I wanted it to be. I wanted some level of safety and security because somebody else, supposedly a high enough branch on the food chain of the government, to offer me some level of protection.
But why wasn't that safety and security achieved after you gave it to the FBI? Why did you need to go to Giuliani? Or why did you need to give it to Giuliani after they came to you, whoever came to whom first?
I don't feel comfortable about explaining the details that transpired between December 9th and beginning of September.